Baby's as big as a squash that I don't know the name of, and Mama's getting a little worried. It's week 33. If you're new to these updates, each week I talk about the physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of this pregnancy, and let's start with the physical. Physically, I've been feeling great. Mike has been such a gem because a couple times a week, I get to just totally sleep in, and it's such a gift. I feel like I'm banking as much sleep as I possibly can now because we know how much that changes once you have baby. Now, Mike, on the other hand, is a little bit worse for wear, but it's all part of the sacrifices of being a parent. In terms of cravings this week, I would say the number one thing that I want is food. And I don't care what it is, as long as it's somewhat nutritious, somewhat delicious, and even better if you make it for me. It's really crazy. This baby must be going through some kind of major growth spurt because any kind of food, I'm like, get in my belly. In fact, Griffin and I have actually been kind of bickering a little bit back and forth because he must be going through a growth spurt. Because normally we'll have our snacks together, we kind of share and just, hang out together. But lately he's like, no, this is mine. You can't have any, da, da, da. And I'm like, Griffin, I'm bigger than you. I'm going to win this argument. I'm taking it. I'm just kidding. But it's just been kind of an interesting thing. We're both like just ravenous. So like all things, I'm sure this too shall pass. But it's just been an interesting week. So speaking of getting in my belly, let's take a look at my belly shot. Emotionally, I've been a little bit more anxious this week. I've been having a lot of Braxton Hicks, a lot of tightening, and I just don't like it. With my first pregnancy, I had none, so this is a very new sensation for me. I've been talking to my midwives. They're like, it's totally normal. It's very, very common with your second pregnancy. I've talked to friends. They've said the same thing. In fact, one thing that's kind of exciting is it seems like the moms that had a lot of Braxton Hicks actually have really short labors, which I'm like, hey, I'll take that. Because I had a very long labor with Griffin, and I had no Braxton Hicks, so hopefully there's some correlation there. But I've just been having it. So I like to be active. I like to walk and, just be doing stuff all day. And I'm trying not to push it because every time I do get really active, it tightens and, so I don't want to make things worse or do anything that could be harmful. So I've just been trying to take it easy, which isn't easy for me. Also, I think that my baby is posterior, which can be a little bit more common with an anterior placenta, but I've really been trying to do some belly mapping and I know that she's head down, but feeling where there's the strongest movements, the lightest movements. There's a whole art to it. And I think I'm going to do a video on it because more women need to know. But so I'm thinking she is posterior right now, which is not really the ideal positioning for birth. Now, the truth is a lot of babies are like that way up until right before we give birth, and they actually flip themselves. Yeah, so it can definitely change. There's also exercises you can do. So I've been doing those religiously that can help open that pelvis and just create more space so the baby can move. Sometimes if your baby's like crazy active towards the end of your pregnancy and you're kind of like, what's up with this? I thought, it was supposed to slow down or get tighter in there. It might be because they're actually trying to get in the right position for birth. So there's things that we can do to help open that space for them so that they can move easier. So I've been doing that, but it just triggers me because I'm like, oh my gosh, posterior births can be a lot harder. There's a lot more back labor. They can be a lot longer. I'm like, that does not sound good. So I just have to continually give it to God, turn it over. I'm still only 33 weeks pregnant, chill. And I've also just been talking to the baby a lot and telling her, how we want to get positioned and that sort of thing. So that's actually been kind of like a fun thing because I feel closer to her in some ways. Spiritually, I'm feeling back on track. We went to church this past Sunday, so it was just awesome to reconnect, be with my people. We had missed it 2 weeks prior, and I don't like that, I think once we were traveling, the other time it was Griffin's family party or something. But I just feel better when I go on a weekly basis. And I even noticed it with Griffin. I mean, it's a great time for him. He goes down to the little nursery. He hangs out with all of his friends. He learns little Bible stories. I think he likes it. In fact, the other day he said, "Thank you, Jesus," just out of the blue. And I'm like, that's so awesome. I mean, I know he hears me say that, but he must be learning it other places too. So, and it got me reflecting with my first pregnancy, with Griffin. I remember when we had him, I missed church all the time. It was just, because I was one of those nervous new moms and really on top of it all the time and just hard parenting going on. And so I'd either be wrecked from the night before from getting up and nursing and that sort of thing, Or when he started his first nap would fall during church, I wouldn't go then. And it was just all these things that would get in the way around Griffin and parenting him. So with this baby, I'm just going to be like, girl, we are going to roll with it. And we're just going to go to church every Sunday, whether you like it or not, kind of thing. Because they're adaptable, babies are, you know, and I think you learn that as you mature as a mom. And I've heard that so many times that the second baby is just more flexible, easier in that regard, and can just go with the flow. And this baby's going to have to, because I'm going to be doing things with Griffin. He'll be in activities. Like, we're just going to have to do it that way, which is actually kind of a relief, because I don't know if I could handle that like uptight parenting again. It just was too much. So anyways, that's what's up with me in week 33. Would love to hear from you. What week are you in? If you're pregnant, if you're not pregnant, what's been going on? Share with me in the comments below. And thanks as always for tuning in.